Chair recognizes Councilwoman Parker.
Thank you, Mr. President. First, let me just start by reading just a few notes into the record. This is a statement regarding the proposed facility for unaccompanied minors at 5201 Old York Road, which is in the 9th Councilmatic District. Last night, I received a call in which I was informed very briefly about a proposal to house unaccompanied minors at 5201 Old York Road. It's also known as Logan Plaza in the 9th Councilmatic District. Want to note for the record that prior to last night, Mr. President, no one affiliated with this proposal had contacted my office to discuss it, despite the long-time presence of this complex in the Logan neighborhood and the relationship it had built with the community. While being here as the representative for this body, I want to be very clear with my constituents who are thinking about this issue relative to land use, that we are still in fact-gathering mode to gain information about the status of the proposal, but I do want to make it clear. I mean, people heard from Mayor Kinney. I wanted to be clear that I, as the district council person, also stand opposed to this property being used for this purpose. This is an affront not only to the Logan community, but to Philadelphia as a whole, as a sanctuary city that desires to give everyone a chance to realize the American dream, regardless of their immigration status, Mr. President. It is unacceptable for the federal government in its attempt to force this upon us. I will stand with the people of Logan and particularly any other organizations that are interested in joining in this fight if they are ardently opposed to the planned facility. Let me also just note for the record that if there is anyone that is interested in engaging in any kind of civil action or public protest, I want us to remember that we need to get the facts first, and that the people who live in this community deserve to be informed and deserve to be foremost in the discussion about what is being proposed for their community. I also want to note for the record that Councilwoman Sanchez and Councilwoman Gim, you all have taken a great lead in this effort when issues like this have come up previously. And as we gain more facts about this case, very specifically as it relates to land use, as the bigger picture is unveiled, do know that I will count on each of you to assist us and stand in solidarity with the residents who live here about speaking about what they have a right to have a voice in, what goes in their community. And for the rest of my colleagues, we will stand in solidarity to help protect the human rights and the dignity of these children. And I just wanted to make sure I noted that, Mr. President, for the record. On a much more positive note, I want to note that on tomorrow at 11 o'clock, I am hoping that you, Mr. President, all of our colleagues, and anyone who's listening will join us on tomorrow, Saturday, October the 20th, from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on the 1400 block of Vernon Road. This is our ribbon cutting and block party for the improvement of the commercial quarter. Now, Mr. President, you know, government doesn't always get things right. The left hand doesn't always talk to the right hand. But the people in this community have been waiting a mighty long time to see some of their tax dollars reinvested back into their community. And we've had a lot of tragedy over the years on that corridor. Some of it was very public. But, Mr. President, we don't just have a press conference when there's a tragedy in our community. we did what we needed to do, and that was to roll up our sleeves, use a data-driven and research-based process to try to leverage as many public and private resources as we possibly could to make change on that corridor. And so I just quickly need to say a special thanks to Mayor Kenny, along with Director Epps, Commerce Department, Celine Wilson, and that mighty team over at Commerce. We'll be with Reverend Waller tomorrow, and probably almost every other spiritual leader in that region, along with our schools, and most importantly, the Mount Airy Community Council, the residents who live there, our state senator, Art Hayward. If you're listening, State Senator Art Hayward, if you don't deliver on those state funds, that part of this project wouldn't be done. And to our former state representative, Tanyelle Cook-Artis, who is here but who is no longer in the State House, we want to say thank you, because it was also your work while you were in the Pennsylvania General Assembly that helped to secure these dollars. So we're going to have fun, face painting tomorrow, free food, free activities, seniors, and most importantly, Mr. President, I want you to know, because we should be very proud of this along with all of our colleagues, that aside from celebrating the aesthetic and physical improvement of this corridor, Mr. President, there have been over 225 inquiries of people who are waiting in line because they said, this is nice to see this on Vernon Road for the commercial corridor, but we want to know what's going to be available to help us who own these houses that Councilman Curtis Jones was just talking about in his bill around the corridor. So there will be a line. They're waiting for the home loan product. We told them it's coming. Don't kill us. We'll be ready in every council district in 2019, but the people and neighborhoods are going to benefit tomorrow. And I needed to say thank you to my colleagues, all of you for advocating for neighborhood commercial corridors, and to Ira Goldstein, who's going to kick it off and talk about the data relative to the importance of investing in middle neighborhoods. And Wells Fargo, this doesn't happen without your private donation. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you.